welcoming you again to another episode of Views and Opinion on Hugh Media Africa. I am Olama Vivian Chinana. On today's episode of Views and Opinion, we'll be looking at the recycling of old politicians in Nigeria. In recent time and more than ever before, there has been an increase in the continuous clamor and agitation of change of political gladiators in the leadership structure of Nigeria. These agitations were born out of the unending recycling of old politicians of the political class in the governance of this country. Many have complained of the massive failure of old generation politicians in the governance of Nigeria, which has led to the increase in the social vices, economic failure, mass corruption, and infrastructural decadence. On this episode, we'll bring you the views of Nigerians on this peculiar topic. Sit back and enjoy it.
Concerning these old politicians, in quote, coming out for 2023 elections, for me as a youth, it doesn't sound interesting at all. These men have been in politics for over 50 years, and there has been no significant development. There's no sign they have been there. So I don't see any reason in them coming again. Even if they've been around, they have not created an impact. So for Atiku, whatever name they call themselves, Tinubu coming out for an election again, I don't see anything they're going to offer, because they have not offered anything. We are still talking about light, roads, water in 21st century world. No.
The first point of view is that they should allow the younger people to take power. Because looking at what has been happening, I think most people that have been ruling Nigeria right from ages are those that are still controlling this country up to today. During their own time, they talked about youth. And now they are above youthful age and they are still in power. I think I should ask them, or I'm telling them that they should please hand over this power to the young ones, those who have the ability, those who has the agility to perform a lot of things. You cannot take a man who is up to 90 years to control this country. There are a lot of, look at what is happening between the president and the vice president. Most of the active activities from the one I'm observing, it is the vice president who have the energy, the ability to go, speak, talk. Not that president cannot do, but maybe because of health challenges or other things, the man cannot move. I think there should be a lot of screening. It doesn't really matter if you have it upstairs. If you have it upstairs, you should also have it in your physical fit body. So I think if Peter B is coming out, fine. If Tinubu is coming out, fine, but they should consider the age.
Oftentimes, we have heard of candidates coming out for us to give them our mandate. And when we do this, many times they do fail us. Let us hope that the 2023's own will be, of great importance to us.
I think like we, Honest Youth Council, we have started a campaign that we tag the ballot revolution. And the ballot revolution is all about a paradigm shift. We are going to retire all these old people. We are going to retire the same politicians. We are going to retire them from House of Assembly member to governors. When you watch what is happening in the eastern part of this country, the level of agitation by the pro-Biafran groups, you will discover is because of the lack of leadership, competence, and credibility, that we had a colossal failure of leadership among the so-called present and past leaders. So what we are talking about in 2023 is ballot revolution, that we are going to vote them out and vote in a new breed into the system, people that will understand what governance and what leadership is all about. So it's very, very important that we are not going to recycle the same old politicians that have looted our common treasury. It will not going to happen again in 2023. And that is why we have also started campaign on the need for the youth to get their PVC, because that is our strength, and that is the only bullets we are going to use to shoot all these criminals out of power and bring in people we want that will understand what leadership is all about.
If we come out and do the right election, I know it will still be rigged. So for my own opinion, anybody can rule.
God gave me a message concerning Nigeria, that God is interested of the people of Nigeria and the Nigerians. So God has a good plan for this country. But everything that must be done in the area of Nigeria presidential election, it must be spiritually selected.
This is Views and Opinion on Hill Media Africa, and with me today is Mr. Tony Odorichiko, a politician and a political analyst. He's also a lawyer by profession. Please, Mr. Tony, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Today we're looking at the recycling of old politicians in the country. What do you make of that? You know,
For me, it's kind of funny to say recycling of old politicians. There's nothing like recycling old politicians. The fact is that at each time you look for the best person for a job. And if that person, you cannot discriminate against the person because he's old. You know, that's against human rights, ageism. So once someone is capable, whether the person is young, middle-aged, or older, you let the person do the job he can do best. So the people should not sit by for them to just to be taken like that. No, you have to make sure you put round pegs on round holes. Age is not the issue. I mean, if you look at advanced democracies like the United States of America, their president had been in the Senate for over 3 decades. You have people that have been there in the Senate, in the House, in the Congress for tens of years. So it's about capacity, it's about ability, it's about being able to deliver. It's not about whether you are old or whether you're young. So that idea shouldn't even come up at all.
you made mention of the capable hands, whether you're old or young and all that. Why is it that they don't give the younger ones the opportunity to participate?
Because, you know, the younger ones should take up the challenge.
Okay, currently the ticket for the presidential election is 100 million.
Yeah.
So how would a youth afford that kind of money to be
You
able
must
to?
not contest the president on APC, for instance, that if you're talking about 100 million.
Most of them are quite exorbitant for them to be able to, measure up in that aspect.
You see, the issue is no person goes into a political race and fund that all alone. All we need to do is to have our youths to be interested and to be really interested in politics. There is nothing stopping. For instance, when the current president of France came on, he came on through a little known political party. He didn't become the president on the platform of the known political parties in France. So, I mean, the youth, for instance, when you look at the interest the youths have in Nigerian Idol, for instance, the number of votes they put in there and all that. There is nothing stopping the youth from coming together and forging a unity and deciding that we are going to make a change, we're going to take up this, and we should be able to do that. For instance, in my own party, which is the All Progress Congress, women and youth virtually have the forms free. They only pay for expression of interest. They are not paying 100 million.
You mean they don't pay?
They are not paying 100 million, no. Once you're under 40 or you're a woman, if you're going for House of Rest, for instance, you only pay 1 million naira to get your form. Whereas the man contesting for the same position is paying about 11 million naira. If you're under 40 and you're going for House of Assembly, for instance, you're only paying I think you're paying 1.25 million, or 1 million actually, 1 million naira. Whereas if you're over 40, you're paying 2 million. And if you're a woman, you only pay for expression of interest, which is about, I think is 250,000 naira. So there is nothing stopping the youth from contesting. And as a matter of fact, the policy of high form price is actually to their advantage. It limits the number of people who are older who can afford the forms, because for them it's free. So the 100 million is not for youth and women. Rather, it helps them to come up, whereas it reduces the number of older people that will come out to contest for those positions.
Welcome back. Nigeria needs leaders who uphold and respect the law. If we are to succeed as a nation, we must have leaders who are committed to rule of law and visible sense of equity, fair play, and tolerance. We must have leaders with reflective sense of tomorrow, other than that of private account enrichment and material acquisition. Nigeria certainly needs fresh ideas on how to develop the country, unite and secure the country, which has proven to be a daunting task over the years. Have your say and listen to the views of others as shown on our page and channel. Thank you for watching, and please join us again next week for another interesting episode. But before I leave, follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. My name is Olama Vivian Chinana. I'll see you again next week, and bye for now.